Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well. It's a Sunday night, and we're back for another chill fuzzy chat. Still, international break is here, and God, is the news dry? It's really dry at the moment. Really dry. There's not much to talk about. And, no club games, and to be quite frankly honest, being English, being a Brit, you're stuck with Southgate ball, and we play again tomorrow night. I believe it's Montenegro away. I think it's Montenegro away, um, or is it North Macedonia? I can't remember which country it is. It's a country from that part of Europe. I'm pretty sure. No, it isn't Montenegro. It's um, it's got to be North Macedonia. Yeah, it's North Macedonia. North Macedonia away. Montenegro played today. But yeah, boring Southgate ball. God. Whilst we're beating Malta 2-0 at in our own home stadium, I believe is Wembley. Meanwhile, France are smashing um, Gibraltar 14-0, you know. There's levels to this game, people. There's absolute levels to this game. But it is what it is. It's the cards you get dealt when you roll with some Southgate ball. But speaking of French players, that's a hint. It's a clue to the player that United, surprisingly, a little bit unexpected, completely out of nowhere, out of the blue, linked. The club are now linked to Antoine Griezmann. Major profile of player, don't get me wrong. But I feel like we were almost duped into thinking about signing this player years and years and years ago. Years and years and years ago. 5, 6, 7 years ago, we were duped into signing Antoine Griezmann. It never happened. It never happened. He ended up I believe it was either one of two things. He either signed a new contract at Atletico Madrid before then moving to Barcelona at a later point, or it was that he was linked to us and then he decided to settle with a move to Barcelona. Supposedly, the uh, the contract side of things. Now, I've I suppose it's just entirely speculation. There's no factual element to this whatsoever, but I've heard some people talking about a major contract offer or a massive contract offer um, to almost entice Antoine Griezmann to make the move from Atletico to Manchester United, with Manchester United paying off a a £22 million release clause, which I suppose is cheapish. I mean, you're buying a player who I believe is 32, I think it's 30, 32 thereabouts. Um, is it really the right sort of investment? I think at this moment in time, beggars can't really be choosers. And at the moment, we're really only stuck in, well, our attack is only really stuck with Rasmus Højlund, a young striker who's still having to, find ways of, growing his skills, his abilities, and needing time to get minutes on a football pitch to really fill out his profile as a player. And then on the other hand, you have Anthony Martial, who's very injury prone, has got a bit of experience in the league and all, and has done some good things for United in the past, but that's just it. You're relying on him being fit enough for extended periods of time to do that. Now, question is Antoine Griezmann the answer? Is he the answer? For me, no. He can't be. He can't be the answer. If we ever sign Antoine Griezmann, you are not thinking about the future. You're thinking about let's fix something now. Let's plug a hole now. Now, this United team, does it need holes to be plugged, or does it need the right sort of investment? But rather than that, does it need elements removed at the same time? I know I'm leaning more towards it needing things to be leaving the team picture whilst also the right investments coming in so that you're rotating it. And I think if you just do it just like in staggered bits and pieces, you almost, I think the transition in building yourself a new team that would be, you know, centric around, providing a system for success. I think it feels as though that if we sign, experienced players, just plug some gaps here, plug some gaps there, the quick fix, deals that we've had in the past, right? We've had some quick fix deals in the past, and we ultimately then have to think about, well, how do we then replace this person again? 1 to 2 seasons later, like you get the best, or as close to a best that you possibly can for a short period of time. But then what about the mid to long term? So you tick a short term box, but then you got to think about rejigging the playing field yet again. Now, as far as the reaction to this, I'll be honest, the reaction has been very split, very, very split, and it's understandable. It is understandable to there being a split. I completely understand there being fans that think on one side of the argument, it would be great to having Antoine Griezmann because it's Antoine Griezmann. Him to lead your line, he's got some experience, he's got some good ability, and in some big moments, he might be the difference maker for United. On the other side of things, you've got people who say, no, we don't want Antoine Griezmann. Some say because, he wronged us before, like he could have come to United beforehand, but actually, sold out on us. As that's basically the message that I'm reading from what other people are saying. The other side of things, people are just concerned about, Griezmann. He's too old. He's not as good as he used to be, and it's just not what United need. And quite possibly, it's like when people coin the phrase that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Maybe signing Griezmann, the grass might not be greener with Antoine Griezmann in the team. It might not be. It might not be, and that's the thing that you've got to. I think a lot of people have got to keep in mind when they think about the acquisition for Antoine Griezmann. I think £22 million release clause on just from face value seems reasonable. It seems like a reasonable release clause. I'm a little bit concerned about gigantic contracts though. Absolute gargantuan contracts. It's giving me some PTSD. It's giving me some PTSD, with all things considered. It really, really is. And I'll be honest. If we're giving out major contracts to people that are quite vocal, I find Griezmann to be a more of a vocal kind of individual. Vocal kind of personality. Like he speaks to media. He speaks to media a lot. He's out there. He's quite out there, and I think having another massive personality, I tell you what, it would be something that would probably go against the grain of people who say maybe Ten Hag's trying to get rid of big personalities, but then you sign a big personality in Griezmann to come in the door. It's just like, yo, Eric, it's nice to meet you, mate, but why are those guys leaving? I swear these guys were like your best players. Why am it's just, it looks like it sets up uh, some sort of, it's baffling. It would be baffling to bear witness to. Carl Rossi, absolute legend. Legend. Amazing moderator, does God's work in the chats and channels of people's live streams. Underrated. Criminally underrated. So big ups to Carl Rossi. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure to see you. As it is equally as big a pleasure to see Stephanie Griffith in the chat. Big ups to you. No more mercenaries, please. It does read like that. It does seriously read like that, Stephanie. That we might be signing players that have got that edge to them. Like, you sign this player, and it's like, does he carry this team? Does he revolutionize what this team that we currently have is about? Does he is he a quick hope for a fix, or is he the guaranteed solution to our problems? And I feel like the kind of figure that Antoine Griezmann cuts in the footballing world, he's not the ideal sort of signing that United need to be making, because it might just be the unearthing of more problems from the past to haunt us again in the present day. So, yeah, not great. Wolfgang Division, great to see you, man. Big ups to you. Make sure to go sub to this guy's channel as well. Big ups to him. Wolfgang Division, get sub in. Come on, let's get everybody up to 100 subs. Everybody up to 100 subs. Believe he's on the road to 90 at the moment. Get him up there, people. Get him up there. Big ups to everybody. Cheers. Chocolate milk. Coin that. Stick it on a shirt. And me drinking chocolate milk every stream, everywhere, every time, every place. I'll go to a pub. Maybe if I own my own chain of bars, the house special of my chain of bars is chocolate milk from the tap. Forget beer. Forget drafts on tap. Got milks on tap. I'll probably see Kurt Angle drinking in there. Kurt Angle might become a regular, you know. Man likes his milk. It's dire times to be a United fan and an Arsenal fan. Shadows of both once were. It's sad and needs rectifying quick. It absolutely does. And you know what? It's I guess I'm not really giving it much thought or thought about it as yeah, like as big a problem, but I see some people giving out awards recently. And Mans gave Edu the best director in Europe or something, like some awards thing. I no idea what the awards ceremony thing was about, if there was even a ceremony. But apparently, Edu won something for being the best at something. I'm thinking, huh? Best director in Europe? You sure about that? You sure? Best director in Europe? We might need to talk to this guy, like the person who decided that. We might need to talk to his dealer, because some of that shit's got to be borderline illegal with how strong that is. Surely. No problems, Wolf. No problems. It's a service to you, a great content creator on the platform, and equally, with all of our us content creators, small time, big times, whatever. We all deserve great things. We all deserve great things, and it's always a good service, a good deed to support one another. So I shall do so willingly. Um, yeah, make sure you sub to Wolfgang Division and Carl Rossi coming in again. Clutch performance in the chat. There's the channel link. Go drop him a sub, people. Go drop him a sub. We won't have the Cantona effect, sadly. We won't. We won't. Sorry. Antoine Griezmann ain't going to do that. He ain't quite cut from that cloth. Not quite cut from that cloth, sadly. I think it's dire times for football in general, Carl. I mean, just to, once again, on this channel here, on Wolfgang Division's channel, did a show about the talking about if football is dead or if football's dying and the current state of affairs. Because we talk about referees, we talk about crazy decisions in games, we talk about players and crazy contracts, but maybe contribution towards what football is, but from fans' perspectives, maybe that's sort of whether it's a case that football's just changing and we just don't like the change, or if it is genuinely heading towards a dead end for the sport. I think with things, we're seeing a lot of big happenings, like, for instance, FFP doing these big charges on clubs like Man City, Chelsea, and then punishing Everton for a single breach, which happened in the span of a couple of weeks. To me, I feel like we've got, like, something gives me an irking feeling that maybe football is on the cusp of something massive, like a massive change or like a shift of landscape, that we have been moving towards football potentially needing to have a massive landscape shift. We might be getting that. It might just be the sort of building blocks, getting to the point where it's almost teetering on the edge of tipping over, like, you're playing a game of Jenga and you're trying to get out that one block that's stuck in the middle, but every time you touch it, it's wiggling. It's wiggling the tower, but it's like the only Jenga block you can move. It feels like football's in that state right now, where it's like if you get that Jenga block out so carefully that the tower stays intact, but one big monumental thing in the foundations of football, the whole thing's going to go down. Not that football's going to literally just disappear, but something could happen which invokes a massive change. That is the catalyst for change in football. So we might be sort of heading towards that. Yes, 5 likes. Some reason I see only 4 likes on my thing, on my playback, but do be sure to hit that likes. Hit them likes. Like the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Would be most appreciated. Would be most appreciative if you were to do that. That would be fan-bloody-tastic. And big ups to everybody that does. And big thank yous to all of you for love and support. Yeah, and big respect for Carl. Helps everyone, never asks for a thing. 100%. Big ups to Carl Rossi. Eddie the slimy fuck. Yeah. Somehow, I don't know. Somehow, he's weaseled his way. He's weaseled his way into something like that. Griezmann, the Barca flop. I think Griezmann's kind of made his career about being an Atletico Madrid man for me. Does well for his country to various extents, he does. But for me as a club football player, He's never been better in his career at anywhere than how he's been at Atletico Madrid. The club that made his career, and probably inevitably, well, probably in his case, inevitably, probably the only place where he'll actually finish his career at a high level. Because God only knows if he were to make the jump to Manchester United, I'll tell you what, if he jumps to Manchester United, the next move of transfer that he'll make in his career will be to a finished club. Probably be to MLS, China, whichever league that likes to sign big talents. I don't know about Saudi Arabia. Maybe Saudi Arabia. Must go rewatch that. That's something that's massively on my mind with the sport. Yes, absolutely. Please do. A fantastic panel that was on that show as well. Had Yeti, obviously Wolfgang Division, the host. Had myself. Had Tony Clawgunner was featured on there as well, and Abs, the football bants, another Arsenal content creator. Do also go drop him a sub as well. Very, very chilled, laid back, relaxed guy. And yeah, looking forward to doing some more shows with him in the future. A very, very sound individual. But yeah, it's definitely a thought provoking show, that one, Carl. It's if you are sort of in that mindset to watch shows about the state of sport and football, that's definitely a very good show to go watch. Lots of people on the panel, great stuff from Fuzzy, as always. The Choco Don, absolutely lovely, lovely stuff. I've always had to wrestle with the integrity of the sport whilst playing rugby, which on paper is far more honourable of a sport. It is. Getting to the stage where I may tap out watching it. Well, that's the thing, is football, I think, for people that are sort of, that love football and the love for their sport is, very deep rooted to various morals or various elements to which the modern game is moving away from. I think it changes perceptions on, like, how you think about the sport, but how you watch it as well. And I think if people's perceptions change from how they're watching the game, it can change the way you enjoy it. And if it changes the way you enjoy your game, you probably start to like it less and less and less. And it's just like, well, actually, I've kind of lost the sense of enjoyment that I get from watching football. Kind of like wrestling. Most kids love watching wrestling, right? But then they'll grow up, and some people, they stay invested in it. They love the story. They love the pantomime essence of it. Me, I'm not a diehard fan of wrestling, but sometimes I do enjoy some of the storylines they put on the shows. But other people, they grow out of it, and it's just like, I can't get my head around the idea that it was, a bunch of people who cut personas, and it's all fixed. It's all fixed outcomes and all of that stuff, and it's like, it's all fixed, but it's like a fairy tale storyline. You go to watch a film, it's going to have a happy ending, but it's like you'll still be invested in watching a story, and that's the pantomime essence of wrestling. It's all characters going on storylines, and obviously, as long as the storylines are actually good and it's something to get invested in, and that the people, the talents of wrestling are actually good, then you can get drawn into it. Even combat sports car. That's another one. Boxing, man. Boxing just isn't the same anymore. It just isn't. Like, man, that felt like an exclusivity sport for real champions and proper marksmanship with glove to glove combat or unarmed combat. But now it's just being infested with big money fights, big money deals. As long as someone can put on some gloves and step into a ring, if they've got a big personality or a big following, then that's good enough for a lot of the shot callers in boxing. So look how many calls we all argue with refs, judges. It's hard to take. Yeah, should call him Grease Man. There's always going to be a fuckery in bits when humans are involved. Yeah, never been this bad. This had a cap on to a degree, not now. I yearn for real, whether in people or interests. Football has gone beyond that now for me personally. I think one of the integrating factors about, say, the modern game, with football at least, where I suppose it's lost the essence of realism is a disconnect between people and the legitimacy of the sport, where it's all become like football has become systems and tactics, and everyone's got to know in say these 5 passes have got to go in this direction or in this order. If it goes in any other order, it just doesn't work. It has to go in this order. And it's like, listen, watching a tactical game is great, but when you start to complicate it, you start to make people have to think more about football. When people start to think more about football, they start to complicate the simplicity of what football actually is. So you try to outsmart each other on a football pitch by system, by a group collective. Now, sometimes if it's a game plan that outsmarts the opposition, great. But I feel like the sport has become so dependent on it. It's never really about the quality of a player taking initiative, or that a club or a team is built from the ground up, made up of players that absolutely give everything and will sacrifice their life for that shirt that they put on because there's pride in it. And I think there's a lot of pride that's been taken out of football. And I think if you want to see a lot of people really get, feel that essence of realism in football, I think you need to instill pride back into playing for clubs, right? And, seeing that ladder in football as a player, seeing that ladder going from nothing to something, right? That there's an honest journey for players to go on. So when they do get to the higher levels, where the higher levels are so brutal and cutthroat, and that's why standards are so important as well. The journeymen that get to the very top know that they can't get to the top and then they say they've made it, because as some people have said before, once you think you've made it, right? Once you think you've made it, that's the beginning of the end. And it's as simple as that. So having standards to the highest possible degree at the very top, if people go from nothing to something out at the very top, they start getting a bit comfy because it's like, well, my talent can carry me. But then, because everyone's like, oh, look at this guy, he's so great, he's so brilliant. Oh, he looks attractive. Look at the tattoo on his neck. Oh, look at his social media. He's got 2 cute dogs or something. Now, to be fair, dogs are cute. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Dogs are cute. But the perception, like making players out to be darlings, they're not darlings. Sorry, they're not. They are football players that play in a contact sport. These are professionals, paid professionals. They play in a contact sport. I want to see them, right, respecting integrity of competitive, combative sport, right? And that's what competition is about. Enough of me. Smash the fucking likes. What's Football General YouTube? Show some love. Thank you very much, Carl Rossi. Really appreciate it. Boxing, I do not consider a sport anymore. To be fair, it kind of isn't. And that's what's crazy is I could probably, if I make myself an internet sensation, right, without earning a dime from my channels, if I make myself so controversial and I say, look, I'll step in the ring with this guy, but you got to stick 7 figures on the line, right? 7 figures payday for me. I'll fight you. So then I'll go with no experience in boxing. I'll release a couple of training videos, get into the ring, get my ass handed to me. I've made off with a 7-figure sum. And that all started from being a twat on the internet. That's how boxing works now. Act like a twat on the internet, get yourself in some beef with somebody else, get your following cults to go to war with each other, and then you agree, let's settle it in a boxing ring. Now, this is the funny thing. When are YouTubers going to go into mixed martial arts and properly, like, brutally assault each other, like full-on brutality? Would they do it? Would they willingly step into a cage and absolutely just batter the ever-loving shit out of each other? Because in boxing, there's a code of etiquette. In a cage, in an octagon, there's some ground rules, but everything else goes. If the man ends up in A&E, you've done a good job. That's how brutal it is. But that's the thing. A lot of these YouTubers don't want nothing to do with a fight in the octagon, man, because I'll get clarted and I might never be the same again. Rajat, good to see you. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Yeah, chilling out on Sunday night with my chalky milk, with the signature drink. Hope you're doing well, Rajat. It is fisticuffs Oscar ceremony. Oh. Best actor in the boxing rings now. Man City both to get punishment, but FA probably won't do much. The FA do absolutely nothing. They do absolutely nothing. Man, the FA literally stands exactly for what you assume it would. FA standing for fuck all, because that's what they do. That's their code of conduct. UEFA might do, and that's the thing. They've set the precedent for a single charge, right, on Everton. They've literally just one charge on Everton, 10 points deduction for you. One charge, you decide it in a couple of weeks. Easy as you like. There's 115 charges that the FA and whoever else have brought up against Manchester City. Now, of course, with it per individual charge, you have to investigate it and validate whether they are found guilty of it or not. There's 115 of them. That's going to take a long time. So Manchester City, their case is probably going to go on for a significantly longer period of time than perhaps we would like for it to. But that's kind of, yeah, we're sort of having to just wait and see what happens on that front as to whether people, they're guilty or not. If they are guilty and the punishment is minimal, Everton, and this is the thing, this is why I believe that we could be on the catalyst of massive change in football, because Everton get found guilty, right? The clubs relegated from the Premier League are planning to sue Everton, if they haven't already done so, right? That they're suing. They're suing Everton because, well, yeah, if it wasn't for their financial irregularities or their breaches of financial or finances, that maybe they'd still be in the Premier League. Who knows? Who knows, right? So they're pissed off. So if Everton with their 10-point deduction, right, Man City with 115 charges, if they get found guilty for a lot of them, even if it's half, there's still a massive amount of charges, right? And if the punishment is much more lenient, if it's much more lenient, then the integrity we know of the financial fair play system is gone. It's dead. So you can get away with bloody murder. As long as you're a big club, you can get away with bloody murder. But if you're a smaller club, oh, oh, even the slightest infringement, we could change the course of your club's history. Quick-handed punishment. Boxing is a check now. It is. It is. Man City have the money to tie up anyone. Well, it's a state, isn't it? It's a state-owned club. Bear with me. Sorry, that was Mother Fuzz, Mama Fuzz, coming in to let me know I've got a baby nephew coming tomorrow. Baby nephew's coming to play tomorrow. Baby nephew, bless him, bless the little chap. But yeah, the guilty party at Chelsea was forced out. Problem is that the club, the entity of which the person that would be at fault for it. Now, the person at fault might not be there, but the entity still is. And that to me is the concerning factor. Because the entity was the part or the pawn that was used with the rule breaking. So they've punished the entity, unfortunately for Chelsea. But another thing as well, your Todd Bowley ownership as well is it's interesting that they're trying to get in everyone's good books. I guess they're trying to do something by getting in the good books by saying, well, look, we'll try and be transparent with you guys. We found this, we found that, we found all of this. I don't know if that's going to be a case that they shoot themselves in the foot with that, or if there's various things that that probably would never have been uncovered if had they not brought it to the surface. I think that's got to be looked at as well. So UEFA will take the money happy, probably would. Directors need the yachts. They do. They need to park them in Porto Banús as well. Porto Banús, just down the road from where the Gunner is. Lawyers and solicitors, best 11 coming soon. Yeah, man. Tell you what, it's clapped. It's clapped. It's clapped. Like you said the other day, Fuzzy, peoples are bought for brands, not play. They are. They are. Not that they are bought for play. They are literally bought for brands. It's brand clubs, and that's probably the reason why legacy fans of football, the perception on the game that they watch and the game that they enjoy is dying. They're losing interest in it. Many clubs going to push for ESL, be it Italy or Spanish clubs. I know that they definitely want the ESL for guarantees, financial guarantees, and that I think is that's a problem in and of itself. But of course, the leagues themselves do need to be blamed. But then again, it's these big clubs that I think have probably done business in such a poor way. They've handled their business in such a poor way that they've put themselves in precarious positions. Right? Like they could be caught out, and they could end up in big financial trouble. The ESL is the insurance policy competition to bail them out. That's why they like the ESL. That's why they are willing to rip everything up to start again. If it wasn't about righting your wrongs, right? You wouldn't have you wouldn't feel then any need whatsoever to have to go to a breakaway competition where the biggest promise out of all the promises is that you make big money. Sorry, it's not that the format's going to be really great for football. It's going to bring it into a modernized era. No, it's not. The biggest reason for an ESL is to fill the director's back pockets and the clubs competing in it. That's the biggest promise. That's literally how people tick boxes, because these big directors are money men. They follow the money. They don't follow sports ambition, they follow money. And it's no coincidence that a lot of the chairmen of the original ESL project were the American owners of Premier League clubs. No coincidence. They are money men. Messi, Ronaldo, etc. Yeah. About brands and stuff. Dogs are awesome. They are. Thanks, Fuzzy. About dogs being cute and awesome. Yeah. 1-0 Bruno. 1-0 Bruno. Well, it's 2-0 to Portugal at the moment. Bruno Fernandes had scored in the first half. Horta had scored in the second half, assisted by Cristiano Ronaldo. Albeit that it is against Iceland, a team that beat England, by the way. Scotland are 3-2 up against Norway as well. Scott McTominay's not on the score sheet. Disgraceful. Sack him. Sack him. Sack Scott McTominay. It's not scored. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is with international football today. But yeah, but we've known. Good evening, one and all. Mama Flossie, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Also makes it 2, yeah. You're already a sensation. Sensation. What? I'm sorry, Wolf. What the fucking kind of what? Okay, sensation. It sounds like something Yeti would say. You'd probably be able to pronounce that word spot on. Sensation. Birthday celebrations. No idea whose birthday it is. Everyone's wishing Mama Flossie happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mama Flossie. Happy birthday. I know it's not your birthday, but happy birthday nonetheless. Show some love to Mama Flossie in chat. Happy birthday, not quite my birthday. Yes, Ola and me said this. Never go MMA. It's too brutal for them. Too brutal for the YouTubers, man. It's Mama Flossie's son's birthday. Yeah, I think I saw the the post. He has had a lovely day here, and he's having been out to a show. Can't believe he is 41. Time flies. Time flies, Mama. Time does fly. just disappears. It's all in your hands. It's like Arsenal's title hopes in Robbie's hands. It was all in my hands, and then my sausage fingers disappeared. I forgot Big Up Fuzzmeister. You forgot about the guy on your screen. Unbelievable. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? But yeah, big ups to Mama Flossie. How many chocolate milks are we on? Just the one. I'm good with my moderation, right? I'm good with my chocolate milk moderation. I don't overdrink. You know, I keep myself below the limit, right? The limit till it becomes unacceptable for me to drive a vehicle. Drunk on chocolate milk. It's a different sensation. Destroy the likes, yeah, 100%, man. My take is that they have hit Everton hard to set a precedent. I also think it could mean big trouble for City. Well, that's the thing. You've set yourself up big on one charge when you've punished Everton. You've got to follow it up by keeping those things up. And I think it's true to state that Everton haven't been found as, like, say, actively cheating. It's just their finance sheets have read that they have breached a certain rule in a rule book, and one charge for that has deducted them 10 points. Manchester City, on the other hand, if they've got as suggested 115 charges to get through, even half of those being found guilty of, you got to ask, what was the intent behind what was the intent behind those those rule infringements. So yeah, it could mean some massive trouble. I know a lot of people very quickly said, "Oh, Man City and Chelsea are going to get relegated." And it's like they might not, like they might legitimately still just survive. I imagine if Manchester City, right, just get in terms of relegation, it'd be interesting if which way would a club be relegated if they have all of their points retracted and that they just finish on 0 for the season. I'd be entertained with watching the fallout for that. But Fuzz Dynasty strong. Yes. Mama and the Popper Fuzz, big up. Yeah, big ups to them. Big ups to Mum and Pups. At least we are honest. I'll take that. I think it's about Chelsea board. Yeah. Great for revenue only. It's Chinese. It's Sanshun. Wow. Trying to catch me out there, Wolf. Trying to catch me out. Smash the likes and sub if you are new here. Have a good show. I'm out with the wife tonight. We'll watch on playback. No worries. Jez, great to see you as always. Thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And as you said, subbing to me, liking the stream over here. Make sure that you do show this guy some love as well. Sub to Arsenal, the history, and more. Big ups to Jez, and thank you very much for tuning in. And have yourself a lovely night. Hope everything is fantastic. If it's a curry you're going to have, hope it is a banging tikka masala or whatever curry it is that you have. If it is a curry that you're having, of course, it might not be. Who knows? For me, I'll go with tikka masala. I love myself a tikka masala. It's great. Great tikka masala. Bit of poppadom on the side. Maybe some naan bread. Sort of sweetish naan bread. Some pilau rice. And all of that good stuff. Oh, love it. If you're new, smash the fucking likes. Yes, people. Enjoy the night out. 100%. Big up, Sajetta. Have a great evening. Yes, 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 yes. In terms of other news, Andre Onana, injury scare. Injury scare. Is he injured? Is he not? He went off, I believe it was in the 86th minute in a friendly or I think it was an international friendly or an international competitive or qualifying game for Cameroon. Um, and he supposedly injured his shoulder. I think it was. Yeah, I think he injured his shoulder, which wasn't great. And I think a lot of people sort of saw that and thought, "Oh Christ, here we go, here we go." Just add more misery, add more to the injury lists that are just forever growing. It seems. Um, but to be honest, to be quite frank, actually, where was it? I'm just trying to find where this was. It no, it was on Friday. It was on Friday, I think it was. Yeah, so he went off in the 81st minute with a shoulder injury. Now, Fabrizio Romano's come out, and I think a lot of people have said, "Oh, Bayendier, he's gonna have to come in a lot sooner. He's not going to have to replace him for Afcon. He's going to have to come in for injury cover." Um, for me, it's I wouldn't be as like massively scared of that. Like I wouldn't be panicking, if you will, if Andre Onana was to have an injury. Not to say that if it's a terrible injury, then of course we're in trouble. But I think on the basis that it's a goalkeeping injury, unless it's a fracture or a bone break or something like that, goalkeeping injuries are never really that bad. They're never really that serious, unless it is really that bad. Um, so I think it's that sentiment has been echoed. I think it was Fabrizio Romano had confirmed it as well that Andre Onana had just a bit of a shoulder knock, and he should be okay enough to return to training for club, and should not guaranteed just yet, but should be fit enough to be able to feature in upcoming games. Um, which is good news. It is definitely good news that it's an injury scare, but a scare just as it is. It's just a scare. Um, Nothing more and nothing less than that. And I think Bayendir actually played for Turkey against Germany yesterday in a 3-2 win. Congrats to him. Um, Turkey doing some bits. Quite even 50-50 game. But yeah, like not massively concerned if Onana is to have a little bit of an injury. I think Bayendier should be a good enough backup option for us if we need him. Thankfully, it's not a major injury or a massive concern by any means, and we can breathe a sigh of relief. We can breathe a sigh of relief. So that's all good. I am well, I'd say relieved. I'm more sort of indifferent. I'm a bit indifferent to it. Um, See if there's anything else that is trending, anything breaking that since we've gone live, and I don't think so. Don't think we have. Yeah, so there's nothing else breaking, which kind of I think pretty much wraps up the topical points of the show. So I should probably wrap things up there and let people get back to enjoying the late night programs or TV or other streams and shows, flying around on YouTube at the moment. Massively appreciate everybody that has stopped by to tune in. Always great to see channel regulars here. Massively appreciate you guys' love and support. And big ups to everybody that has liked the stream. And if you're watching on playback, do be sure to continue smashing those likes. I might do a show in the near future where chat decides the topical discussions. Whether I do it as just going live and everybody that comes in decides what the topical debates are, or not debates, but topical discussions are, or I could do a poll or a comment suggestions to a post, drop suggestions in, and we'll talk about them. So, so yeah, I fucking see those comments, people. I see those comments. I swear to God, I see those comments. But yeah, massively appreciate think about the Chelsea. I think Chelsea are gonna get liquidated, and Tobbo is gonna resurrect it as the West London Cowboys, the Blue West London Cowboys soccer club. That's probably what it's going to be. Think before you go. You think we'll get done? It depends. I think if what Chelsea get, say, pinned up for like what rule breaches they get pinned up for, dependent on the severity of the rule breaks, it's down to the FA to decide what sort of punishment would be fit for that. But so we'll have to see. One more thing. God, fucking damn it. One more thing. It's like it's made me think about. Is it? Was it? Hold on. So yeah, one more. Just one, just one Cornetto. Yeah, I think it was one more Cornetto. No, it's just one Cornetto. But anyways, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Great to see the channel regulars. Wolfgang Division. Make sure to sub to him, everybody. Let's get this guy to 100. Let's get him to 100. Let's get him in the 100 sub club and all of that good stuff. Big ups to Mama Flossie as well. Fantastic to see you as always. Carl Rossi as well. Great to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Always a pleasure to see Jez in chat. Let's make sure to subscribe also to Arsenal, the history and more. Fantastic Arsenal channel there. Raja as well. Fantastic to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. And what's more, Stephanie Griffith as well. Always great to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And to anybody else that watches on playback, anything that you want to speak about as per what we've discussed, the topics for today's show, do be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. And yeah, all of that good stuff. And good stuff. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, absolutely. But yeah, all of that good stuff. Take care, Fuzzy. Take care, you too, Carl. Take care. Big ups, bro. Big ups to you too, Wolfgang, man. Love to all. Subscribe and sub. Subscribe and sub. Subscribe and sub, everybody. Sub, unsub, but then sub again for effect, right? Do it for effect. And There is also the channel. So yeah, channel links to Arsenal, the history and more. Also the link to the to Wolfgang Division's channel there as well. Make sure you get subscribing, people. It's completely free to do, and it does go. It's a gesture that goes a very, very long way in an act of gratitude. So be most appreciative. Uh, Mum does this without a channel. Legend. She is. She's established herself as a legend in YouTube without a YouTube channel. So big ups to Mama Flossie. I'm gonna get my crayons out. Maybe do some art streams, Mama Flossie. Or if we do, I'll tell you what. Yeti suggested doing this Among Us game. What if we're all playing it, then we just have loads of people streaming it? What if we all just do that? What if we literally just have one big games night, and we all just stream us trying to figure out how we can like how games work. Me being a bit of a gamer myself, I don't know how games work, but it'll be funny to do a big game stream um, with the likes of Yeti and having say Carl Rossi and Mama Flossie, Jez on there as well. Wolfgang Division, if you know, if all of these guys get spots on in these games, it would be absolutely hilarious playing these sorts of games with everybody. Cheered, Carl. Big ups, yeah. Big ups to Carl for linking the channels in the chat. Big ups to everybody there. Like I say, I need to edit that. One more thing. Hey, I have 20 subs. Don't know why, but I have. I'll tell you what it is. It's people see or you. They see you on the in the comment section. They literally just go into the tab up top and they search Mama Flossing. People are searching for you, Mama. They're searching for you. They are searching for you on YouTube. There's people that would love to see you doing some good stuff there. Christmas stream. Hopefully there is quite a few Christmas streams. Jez Christmas stream would be awesome. It will. It will. It will. It will. Looking forward to it. Mother, subbed, then I've subbed and subbed again. Playing around with the live figures. And tell you what, you can put the live viewing figures to the test, or the live stats. I think YouTube said that they were doing that. That they're going to show live analytics, so you can see live view accounts, live likes, live video views on playbacks, as well as subscriber counts, I think, as well. Not sure if that's fully legitimate, but we'll have to see. Anyways, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and best of luck for the new week ahead as we start it all again tomorrow. Monday morning blues. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you on the next one. Ciao, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.